let's say animals get to talk. You wake up in the morning and then animals get to talk. Which animals will you talk to first, and what will you say to the animal? So if you have something to say, drop in the comments. Let's just try to make this conversational. Drop a comment. If animals get to talk, you wake up in the morning, animals get to talk. What will you say to the animal? And which animal is it going to be? What will you say to animal, and what will you say to the animal? Somebody say goats. Like, I don't understand. You're going to bleed to the goat or what? Some people cannot see my screen. Somebody said lion. Like, why lion? You want to give the lion a slap? Please, what has lion done to you? Oh, I see somebody is very scared of dogs. Your dog, what happens when you're not at home? Yeah, that's true, right? Okay, mosquitoes. Yeah, mosquitoes. Like, why have you been biting me all this while, right? Eagle. Wow, that's nice. Eagle. Okay. Python, for real. You want to well, this is actually interesting. Dog is your best friend. I think for me, it's going to actually be a dog as well. I love dogs. And the first thing I will say to the dog is, what have you been thinking all this while? Cats. Cats. Wow. Oh, this is good. Somebody said snake. Oh, you want to question, like, why did you lure Eve to eat the forbidden fruit? For real? Anyways, yeah. So just you can see that this actually got quite conversational, and this is what I want. This is how I want our class to be. That is how we can get conversational with our class. So if there's anything you want to say, you drop in the comments. If there's anything, any problem, you also drop in the comments. And yeah, I want this to be very conversational. All right. So we are going to get on with today's class. I'm going to get on with today's class now. Yeah. So you can see my screen, right? Somebody was saying you can't see my screen. Can you? Please unmute if you can see my screen. Let me know. Can you see my screen? Okay, yeah, you can. So why is somebody on a Sunday? Why are you not seeing my screen? What's wrong? Please check it from your end. I think it's from your end, Sunday.
I think it's from his end. Maybe most
It's
likely
from your end.
the way he has
Okay.
found his phone or something.
Okay. So we are going to go on with today's class. So we are starting with Excel. So Mr. Michael has already introduced what Excel is to us. And Excel is actually a powerful tool. You can use it to analyze data. But what is more powerful in Excel is what I call pivot table. So with pivot table, you can analyze millions of data. So let's assume that you are to analyze a data of First Bank. Now, there are 36 states in Nigeria, yeah? And then you have to analyze the data of the ATM transaction of First Bank. You have to analyze the data of the ATM transaction of First Bank. I hope you're following me.
Yeah, it's just a feedback. I think it's just
okay.
It's just trying to listen. Yeah.
Okay.
So I will let you know
so,
if there's any issues. Yeah, so that.
All right, sir. Thank you. Okay, so let's assume you are to analyze the ATM transaction of First Bank. Yeah. So and there are 36 states in Nigeria, and then there's actually First Bank in all the states, and then there are different ATM points in all the states. And then you are told to please let me know the ATM that has the highest transaction. not just the state, the state and then the particular ATM where it's located. Will you go and go to each ATM and then one by one, is it this one? Check the transaction for this one. It's going to take you years, decades, like a whole lot of stress and all that. But this is something that pivot table can do for you in seconds. In seconds. That's why it's so interesting, and I find it so interesting, and that's what we are going to talk about today. Whether you are in finance, whether you are a student, no matter your department, pivot table is one tool that is necessary and interesting for everyone to use. So let's get into it. So we are going to be working with a data set. This is my data set. This is the data set we'll be working with. A minute. Let's do this. So we are working with this data set. Now, this is the data set we are working with. It's over 4,000. Yeah. So this is the data set we are going to be working with. Yeah. So we are going to be analyzing. I'm going to teach us how to use pivot table with this data set and all that. But first of all, what is the first thing you need to think when you are to work in a data, when you are to analyze a data? The first thing we need to think about is this data clean? Is it data clean? Every data analyst will say, I spend 90% of my time cleaning my data. I spend 90% cleaning my data. I hope everyone is following me. I hope you're following. I hope I'm clear. I hope you're following. Okay, you can still see my screen, right? You can still see my screen, right? All right, good. So we continue. So the first thing you need to think about is this data clean for me to work on? Because if your data is not clean, then you're actually going to either be sending off the HR or whatever is in charge of that company. You're going to cause a sack in that company. So you're going to like give a wrong insight from the data. So you need to check if your data is clean. Almost all data are actually bad. Before you can see a neat data to work on, it's rare. So you need to check if your data is clean, no matter how small the data is. So that is what we're going to be doing first, data cleaning. So like this data, looking at this data, you think, it's actually clean. But no, we are going to clean it up now before we go into inserting pivot table and the rest. Before we go into what we have today. So looking at this data, we'll see the first thing we do is to put it in a table form, So now we highlight this. We can either use the shortcut Control T, and then say where is this data for your table. It's already highlighted where my data is. My table has header. Yes, it does. You click OK, and then it gives you the tabular form, or Control Z to undo. You use Control Z to undo. I can undo this, and then highlight Control A, highlight my data, go to Insert, go to Home, go to Insert, go to Home, go to Format as Table. Then I will choose my choice of table. Where is the data for your table? It has highlighted it for you, and then my table has header. You tick it, it does, and okay. This is it. So you do one of that. I think I prefer using Control T. It's finer. So let's do Control T. Yeah. So this is, this is my table. Yeah. So you might ask, like, why do I have to like put my data in tabular form? Like, it's part of the cleaning process. Yeah. So you can be able to identify blanks, you can be able to identify missing values and all that. So the first row, I'm going to check if I have any blank. I'll click on this filter button here to check if I have any blank. I'll type on blank. I guess I don't have any. Then I'll do that for the other one, meaning it's actually clean there. I don't have any blank space here. If I had a blank space, it should have showed blank. You see this one now, it's just brand new foreign known local Nigeria use. So description. Let's see if I have any blank here. I do have a blank. You can see it, right? So we are going to consider this column. Do you think we actually need this column? So now we need to understand our data. This data is a GG car data. Yeah, it's just a data that is showing the car and then the price of the car and the type and the description of the car. Yeah, on GG. And now this description, do you think you need it to analyze your data? Now, when analyzing your data, there are some informations that are actually not needed. For me, I won't need this because what I actually want to use this for. So I would just prefer taking it off. It even has a blank, which can affect my analysis. Yeah. So I can just take this off, delete it. And then this is my data. This is my data. Yeah. So this is what we're working with. But let me tell you something. This data is not yet clean. I hope everyone is following. I hope everyone is following. This data is not yet clean. You ask me why? Because there is a foreign, this is meant to be in text, but there is a foreign, this is meant to be in number, but there's a text in it. Excel recognizes space and all these like NERA symbols as text. Do you get? So this is meant to be in number, but Excel will not read this column, the price column, as number because of the NERA symbol in there. So we are, and the space, there's a space after the NERA. So I hope everyone is following me. I hope everyone is following me. If I'm too fast, let me know. If I'm too fast, let me know. Now, somebody said, why am I analyzing the data? I'm actually teaching you how to use the pivot table with this data set. I'm teaching you how to use the pivot table with this data set. Do you get it now? I'm extremely fast. Okay, I'll slow down. I'm teaching you how to use the pivot table with this particular data set. Yeah. So that is why we are using this data right now. And we are cleaning it first to be sure it's clean before we go into analysis. So did somebody say something? How you move the data to the new sheet? Okay, how did I move the data to the new sheet? I just went to my folder and then I went to my folder and I clicked on the data. Do you get? I clicked on the data and it opened up in Excel because it's in Excel format. I talked about ATM. Okay, sorry, we are going to be taking questions. When it's time for questions, I will let us know, then we drop our questions. Me talking about ATM, I was just using that as an example. Like if you have ATM transactions you are meant to analyze, will you be doing it one after the other? You can't be doing it one after the other. You use pivot table to analyze it. So I'm using this data to teach you how to use pivot table. And now this data I'm using is about cars. It's about cars. Do you get? Now, let's go ahead and continue. So we're going to take off this NERA and this space because it's going to affect our data. Now to do that, first of all, because there is no NERA symbol on our laptop, on my laptop, I'll just copy this, Ctrl+C, and then I'll highlight this column. I copied the NERA symbol because it's not on my laptop. I'll highlight the column. So I'm going to use what I call find and replace. The shortcut for it is Ctrl+H. So Ctrl+H. Just click on Ctrl+H after highlighting that column. So you want to remove something that is not there. You want to find and replace it with something else, which is that NERA. That is why I copied the NERA. So I'll paste the NERA I copied here. Ctrl+V. Yeah. And remember, it's NERA and a space. The NERA and then a space. I don't want it there. Excel will read this as a text. I want Excel to recognize it as a number. What am I replacing it with? Nothing. Then I'll do what? Replace all. See, it said all done. We've made 3,999 replacements. We do okay, and then we got our data set. Then we'll change this here. We'll go up here to change it to numbers. You see where we have general, we're going to change it to number. So it will be in the number format. And then this arrow here pointing, we reduce the decimal. I don't like decimals. You can leave it if you want to, but I'm taking off my decimal. So we have our price in the number format. So our data is good to go.
Sorry, DERA. Can
Yes,
you
sir.
can you repeat that step, like how you
Find and
find and
replace.
repeat? Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, very okay, sir.
Mhm.
So I'm going to use the Control Z to go back to when I have an error. Yeah. So this is it. Like I said, with this Excel is reading this as a text. So we are going to like find and use what we call find and replace. So it helps you look for what you don't want and then replace it with what you want. Now we can't be doing this one by one. We just copy the NERA symbol because I don't have it on my laptop. I click on this column. I liked it, column B, column B, yeah. I click on it. I use, you can use either the shortcut Control H, or there is another way to do it. If you check up here in your tab, in your ribbon tab, you see at the far right, you see find and select. Find and select. So you can use this find and select. Then you see replace here. Click on replace. See? Do you see? Or you can just use your shortcut. Shortcut actually the best in Excel. You do Control H. You see? So what you copied, you paste it here. Control V. It's because I did it before, that's why it's in there. So I'm looking for this NERA symbol and space. Excel reads space as text. If not, if you go ahead to analyze your data like that, Excel will not be able to even sum or do anything because it's reading it as a text. Do you get? So now this is what we are finding, and what are we replacing it with? Nothing. We don't want to replace it with anything. What do? You replace all. We are not replacing one, we are replacing all. All done. So everything has been replaced and we have our data now. So we have to, it's still in general, the format is still in general. In your ribbon tab, you have to change this format to number, which you click on it and then click on number. We have it. But then you see it's having decimals. I don't like the decimals personally. So below the number, you can just click on this decimal, decrease decimal. You can see it. Decrease decimal. Then you remove your decimal. So we have our price column, and our data is actually ready to work on like this. Our data is neat. Now you can compare this to what we had before. This is what we call data cleaning. So we'll be moving on to, okay, so we'll be moving on to, where did I get the NERA? Okay, where did I get the NERA? Now, there is no NERA on my laptop, like I said, so I have to copy the NERA from the data and then paste it. Do you get? Exactly. So how did I turn it? So you can go back to the recordings. Yeah, I said there's a shortcut for turning into a table. You can do Control T. Yeah, Control T. You turn it to a table, or you use the conditional formatting in your ribbon tab. Please, you can go back to the recording to save time. Okay, Treasure said, what business problem are you trying to solve? Now, like I said, I'm showing you how to analyze with how to use pivot table with this data. At this point, we're not trying to solve a business problem. We're trying to learn. I'm trying to teach you how to do this. I hope you're following me. Thank you. So, yeah. Now let's go to this. This is what we are doing today, introduction to pivot table, and then we create add fields to pivot table. So let's start with the introduction. So you want to analyze thousands of rows in seconds, you meet pivot table. I already told you that. To analyze thousands of rows in just seconds, you use your pivot table. Now you can see the image I attached to it. The first one, you can see there are a lot of data sets, a lot of data. And then you can see that it's been broken down into just a simpler one beside. That's what pivot table can do, and that's what we're going to do now. So a pivot table helps to summarize and analyze large data sets quickly. So it helps you to analyze large data sets quickly. Remember at the beginning of the class, I used ATM transaction as an example. So let's look at this picture here. Let's assume this is like ATM transaction for each state. So pivot table can just help you and sum it up. Total transaction for Enugu, total transaction for Abuja, total transaction for Kano. So this is what a pivot table can do. So it helps you summarize and analyze large data sets very quickly. So now, why do we use pivot table? I hope everyone is following. There are so many reasons why we use pivot table in Excel. To save time, you don't even need formula. It's very easy to customize, easy to use. It's actually interesting as well. Yeah, so we are going to create a pivot table. I'm going to show you how to create a pivot table now. Let's do that. Now this is our data, right? So we want to create a pivot table. The first thing we do is to highlight our data, Control A, right? So we've highlighted our data, and then we go to insert. You check above your ribbon tab, you check above, you see the insert tab there. You click on it. Then below it, to the end of your far left, you see
Sorry,
pivot
there.
table. Yes, sir.
Sorry, please, just slow down the pace a bit. It's like,
Okay.
yeah, so that they can pick.
All right. All right.
Please.
So going back to how we can create this pivot table, yeah. So you have your data, you've cleaned your data, and then you want to analyze using pivot table. What you do is first you highlight your table. How can you highlight everything? I know many of us think highlighting can be like going like this and then doing this. What if you have millions of data? So you just click your Control A. Control A highlights all your data at once. I hope we got this. So Control A highlights all your data. Then to now insert your pivot table, you check above your ribbon tab, you see the insert. The insert option is there. You click on it. So a lot of things pops up. Pivot table, recommended pivot table, illustrations, and so on. So we're using pivot table. So this is what we are going to click, pivot table, the first option that is there. When you click on it, you see now this option pops up. Now it's telling you to select a table or range, which is what we have already highlighted. Table 3. You can as well rename your table if you want to. Yeah. So you've highlighted it, and then you go ahead and choose. Do you want a new worksheet or you want to use an existing worksheet? That's this particular worksheet. No, but I want to use a new worksheet, meaning it's going to take you to a new page entirely, which is what we want. Yeah. And then we click, it's already clicked. So we click OK. So now our pivot table has been created. It's as easy as that. So I hope we got this step. I hope we got this
If you
step.
can do it one more time, it will be great.
Okay. So we are going to go over it again. We are going to go over it again. Let's do Control Z, and then yeah. So we have our data, our clean data, and then we want to analyze. Maybe we have so many things to analyze with this data. We want to check probably the cars, the most expensive cars, the least expensive cars, or whatever. And then we want to use pivot table to check all these things, to analyze it. To do this, we are going to create our pivot table. Now, creating your pivot table, you first of all highlight your table. How do you highlight? Control A is the shortcut to highlight. Control A. Click on any place in the table and then you Control A. It highlights all your table. Yeah. Then you go to insert. There is an insert option in the ribbon tab above. We have file, we have home, we have insert. You can see the insert here, the third one. You click on insert. What are you inserting? Pivot table. You can see you have pivot table there. We have recommended pivot tables and so on. So we are we're inserting pivot table. Yeah, we click on pivot table, and then we have our table. You can rename your table if you want. Then you choose where you want the pivot report to be placed. Do you want it on a new worksheet or you want it on this worksheet that you are on already? Well, I want it in a new worksheet because I like my work to be clean. So I want it on a new worksheet. You click on new worksheet and then you click on OK. Did we get this? I hope we got this. Yeah. So this is how to insert a pivot table. This is how to insert a pivot table. Yeah, so at the end of the class, I'm going to show us something. So I would like us to stay until the end of this class. I'm going to show us something different in inserting this table because there Okay, let's get to the end of the class, then we'll talk about that. So this is how you create a pivot table. This is how you create a pivot table, and that is it. So now we are going to talk about how to go about analyzing your data set when the pivot table has been created. So yeah, so we've created our pivot table. We're going to talk about filtering. How do you filter? Oh, okay, is that what we are talking about next? Okay, fields. Let's talk about the fields we have in our pivot table, how to insert fields and all that. So yeah, so now you see our field. This is our pivot table field. By your right, you see your pivot table fields. You can see everything in the table is now, there is nothing on this sheet. Please let me delete it. Okay, so you can see this is our pivot table that we created. Yeah, so we can see everything we have on our table is now in this pivot table. Look at the pivot table field. We have title, we have price, we have type. Now we have the title, we have the price, we have the type. So even if you have millions of columns, if you have more than 3 columns, yeah, you see everything will come up here. Yeah. So when you click on title, you see everything is there. You click on price, you click on type, so you get to see everything on your table. Yeah, it's easy. You can analyze it easier. Yeah. So now we are going to try to understand how this field works. Now this filter button, this filter space here, it's used to filter, as the word is filter, used to like sieve, take out what you want and take out what you want, basically, bring out what you want or show what you want in the data. So that is what we use the filter for. Then rows, you take your rows, you can, it's just to like show your what's it called, your row. You can, sorry, you can take your title to row, because even if you click on, without dragging this title down here, if you click on it, it automatically goes to row itself. Yeah. So things like text finds itself in row automatically. Anything in text format is in the row column, is in the row option. Then anything in numerical format, in number format, finds itself in the value. Do you get? Remember, our numerical format is price. We have price, yeah, it's numerical. So when we click on it, you see it finds itself in value. Yeah, but there are some times when this title now, when you click on type also finds itself in rows. Yeah, but there's a time when, okay, I don't want type to be in row, but I want type to be a filter. I want to filter it. I want to use it to filter. Instead of you to just click on it and it goes to row, I want to remove this. To remove it, you can just drag it out. Double click on it and drag it out. It removes. So I can just double click on type here and drag it to filter. I hope we are following. I'm going to take this again. Double click on type. I can double click on it and take it out. So I can double click on this type and drag it to filter. You want to use the filter button. See, type comes up here and it's showing all. When you click on type, look at your your pivot table here. You see type is there and it's showing all types. Yeah. So to use this filter, you can click on this drop down button here, icon here, and then filter the one you want. You can filter. I want only foreign to show. You click on foreign and click OK. That is how filter works. Yeah. So we are taking this again. We have our columns here reflecting here, the title, the price, and the type. So you can either click on it or you can drag it to where you want it to be. Yeah. So if it's numbers, it goes to row. If it's numbers, it goes to value. If it's text, it goes to row. That is how it works. But you can choose to like drag it yourself to where you want it to be in case you want to use the filter or the column option. Yeah, so I hope we got this part. Can I move ahead, please? Can I continue?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. I hope everyone is following. Okay, yeah, you're following. Okay, very good. So yeah, this is how the field, the pivot table field works. This is how it works. So now we are going to filtering. So I just spoke about filtering. It shows only the data that you need. I just showed you how that filter works. It shows only the data that you need. Yeah. So now we are going to do something now. We are going to do something now. So with our data set now, we are going to analyze something now. We are going to analyze the let's see the data set. So we are going to analyze the sum of price, the sum of price for foreign used cars. Now let's do that. Let me type the question here. The price, no, not okay, let's just say the price for foreign used cars. The price for foreign used cars. We just want to show the price for foreign used cars. The price for foreign used cars. If you notice, my field pane has gone off. So how do I bring it back? So I want us to analyze the price for foreign used cars, to just show the price for foreign used cars using the pivot table. You know, when the in the in the table, there are types of cars. There are foreign, local, and so on. But we want to just show the prices for foreign used cars. Now, okay, it has come up. So in case your field goes off and you don't know what to do, just come to your pivot table, the pivot table you created. You click on it. You right click, and then you go to show field list. It shows. So that is how you can do it. I'll do it again. In case your table goes off, your pivot field goes up like this, you click on any place in your table, right click in your, so you click on any place in your pivot table, you right click, and then you show field list. It comes up again. So now we are going to show the price for foreign used cars. So how do we do that? Now, remember I said if it's text, it automatically goes to rows. So we are showing the price for foreign used cars. Foreign used cars. Now, foreign used cars is there are two criteria in this question. The price. We have price and we have type. The price and type, meaning we are working with price and type. Price now goes to where? When you click price, it goes to where? Rows. When you click on price, sorry. When you click on type, it goes to rows. We are working with type first because we are showing the price for only foreign used cars. Only foreign used cars. So type, we are working with type first. We click on it, it goes to rows, and then we click on our price, or we can as well drag it to values. So we see what comes up. We have the price, and then we have the type. You can rename this that is showing row label. You can just rename it to, what do I select? And rename it to type. Sorry, hold on. Somebody is asking a question. I can't see my screen again. I think it's from your end. What do I select when you right click to get back to the field? Please, I think it's from your end. Who has the email? Please check. Yeah, I think others are seeing my screen. Please, are you following me? Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
The screen is visible. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's continue. Yeah. So what do I right click? Like I said, let's say this goes off. Yeah. Just click on any place in the pivot table that you created. Just click on any place. Right click on it. And then show field list. Look at it below. It comes up again. Do you get? So now let's continue to talk about what we are doing. We are showing the price for foreign used cars. Foreign used cars. Like I said, price is text, so we are taking it to row. You can click on it. you can click on it or you can drag it to row. Then for values is price. And then we want to see the price for foreign use cars. But when we took all these things to, when we took them to their position, we took the type to row and then this one to value, it's giving us the sum of price of foreign use cars. It's giving us all the cars. We want to see only for foreign used cars. We want to see only for foreign use. So what do you do in this case? Remember what I said about filtering. Remember what I said about filtering? That filtering shows only data that you need. So I don't want this to show, I don't want this to show all this. I want it to show just foreign use cars. Now there are two ways to go about this. There are two ways to use the filtering option. Now, is either you click on this drop down icon here, close to type. Look at this type here. There's a drop down icon here. You can click on it, on this drop down icon, yeah, and then on select all. You need to unselect all and then pick the one you want to show. Please, the person raising up your hand, you can drop a comment in the chat and then the moderator will see it and attend to it, please. Please. Then yeah, so you, like I said, you can use, there are two ways to use the filtering option. I want to show only for foreign use. I can click on this icon here and then untick this, select all, you untick this, it's not all you want to see. I want to see only for foreign use. I tick foreign use and then okay, it shows only for foreign use. Only for foreign use. Now this is the sum of all the prices for only foreign use car. Yeah, so now let me show you the other way. Ctrl Z. Now why is this filter option here in the pivot table field? Remember I explained how to use this pivot table, this filter option in the pivot table field. Now if you don't want to use it, you can as well drag this price, drag it again, drag this price to filter. Sorry, not price. Drag this type to filter. There's already a data. Do you want to replace it? Hold on. Did we create two pivot table? Let's do that again. Oh, okay. Now, do you know why this thing is telling me that there is already a data here? Let me do that again. I'm going to show you. Now, look at the error it's showing me. There is already data in ggcar, whatever, in the document, yeah? Now, they're asking me if I want to replace it. If I click OK now, it will remove my data, yeah? The reason why it's showing me this error is because this filter, this filter stuff here, it's when you drag your column to your data to it, it always appears on top of your pivot table at the top. So if there's something at the top already, it gives you that error message. Now I have a question at the top, which is the price for foreign use cars, the total cost for foreign use cars. I'm going to remove it. Control X. I'm going to cut it and put the question somewhere else so I can have my space. Control V. Because something is above here, that's why it's showing that. So let's try it again. Then I'm going to drag my type to filter. Do you see that it comes up? It's above. That's why it was showing me that error before. So now the reason why it's showing you the sum of price for all the type is because it's giving yeah, somebody said I do not need to remove it. Exactly. So I can as well just add another row to it. You're very correct. Yeah, you're very correct. So the reason why it's giving me all is because it's summing up all the type. So now I go to this filter and then click on foreign. I want to see only foreign. I click on OK. So it gives me the sum of price for foreign cars. That's how you use your filter. You use your filter option in Excel. So there are two ways. You can use this or you can use the one I taught earlier, which is the icon option. So now we are going to take this out and then talk about sorting. Now, how do you sort in Excel? Remember to take this out, you can just drag it and pull it out. You can double click on it and then just drag it out. So now, how do you sort in Excel? We're going to sorting. We just spoke about filtering. Now, sorting arranges data in order. When you sort, it arranges your data in order. It can be ascending or descending order. So that you sort most times for your data to be arranged orderly. So now let's do an example. Let's take let's do, so we are going to do something now. We want to sort our price from highest to lowest. That's highest to lowest. Highest to lowest is in descending order. Yeah. So we want to sort price from highest to lowest. So we can drag price to values and the title to row. Now it pops up. Now we have the title of this. Okay, sorry. Is there any question? Are we following? Are we following?
I've attended the questions that were
Okay,
asked.
okay, all right. So
Sorry,
we
guys. Sorry, please. Sorry, 1 minute, please. So if you have, you just raise your hand, right? When it's time for question, DERA will take those questions, so that we save time, guys. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So so when you're done, you can as well, if you want to, okay, I skipped something. When you are done analyzing with the first one, the first table we analyzed, we used price, and then we use this type. But then when you want to go ahead and do something else, you don't want to take it off, you want to create a new pivot table, you can either, there are two ways. You can either just copy this, Control C, and then you just paste down here, Control V. You have another pivot table here. Then you take this off. You still have your pivot table here. Yeah. Or Control Z. Or I'm taking it back. Or you do this. Or you just go to Insert. Going back to your data, you can't go back to your data and or you go to Insert. Yeah. You go to Insert and then go to pivot table. Yeah, just the same way we did it. Yeah, no difference. Yeah, but you don't have to highlight again. You don't have to, you just go to insert, you go to pivot table, and then you go to okay. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. You have to go back. So sorry. This is what I was supposed to show you at the end. We are going to get back to this. Sorry. I'm going to get back to this. So to insert a new pivot table, you go back, you highlight, and then you insert just the way we do it. But I'm going to show you an easier way at the end, and there's a reason why I'm going to do that. So let's just continue. So you can use the shorter way, which is to copy this, Control C, and then paste it here, Control V, and yeah, you have another pivot table to use. So let's go to sorting. How do we sort in pivot table? Now we are sorting prices. Yeah, you are sorting prices. Now we take title to row and we take prices to value. Now we want to sort the highest, we want to sort from highest to lowest. You can see that there are a lot of data here. So we just want to sort it in ascending order. I want to show you how sorting works. So how does it work? So how does it work? You click on this option here. You click on this what's it called, drop down icon here. Yeah, you can see sort A to Z, sort Z to A, and you can see more sort option. Remember I said highest to lowest is descending order, right? That is Z to A. Now if you click on Z to A, it doesn't sort your price. Well, you know what we want to sort is, okay, it does sort it. It doesn't sort your price. Okay, it doesn't. So what we want to sort is price. Now this only sorts type, right? It only sorts the title, the name of the car. The reason why it's showing type is because we copied this one up here, TITLE. So it only sorts the title, yeah? So we are going to see the importance of that more sort option. Now we want to sort price in descending order, because if we just go to this place and click Z to A, it will not sort the price for us. It will sort the title for us instead. So we go to more sort option. When we see more sort option, you see ascending, you see descending. It's descending we are sorting. We click on descending, and then you see title. We are not sorting title. Yeah, title is the default settings, but we want to change it to sum of price. We are sorting the sum of price in descending order. We click OK. So that is when it now sorts price. You can see the highest one is up and then goes down to the lowest. You can do the same in ascending order. More sort option, click on ascending order, make sure it's on sum of price, and then you click on OK. And you see it in ascending order from the lowest price car, the lowest car price of car to down to the highest. That's how sorting works in Excel. And there are times when you use sorting. Okay, so I'm going to take this sorting one more time. I'm going to take it one more time. So let's say you are to sort the sum of price. We know how to insert this to our field. I'm not going to go over that again. So let's say we are to sort this sum of price in descending order. That is from highest to lowest. So what we do is that we click on this drop down icon here. Yes, so you can see sort A to Z, sort Z to A. A to Z is ascending order, Z to A is descending order. So if we are doing Z to A, it will not give us, we want to sort sum of price. So it's default to what is, like it's, the default is on this particular column, title. I thought I renamed it. The reason why it's showing type, like I said, is because we copied it. Let me rename it again so it doesn't confuse us. So if we sort Z to A, it will only sort this title for us because that's the default. So we have to go to more sort option. Go to more sort option so we can change it. Now we want to sort in descending order. We have to click descending and then change this title towards sum of price because it's price we want to see. We don't have anything to do with the descending order of the names of cars. Do you get? So then we do OK. When we've picked the sum of price, then you can see that the sum of price is in descending order from highest to lowest. You can do that too in ascending order. So I think we got this one. That is how we sort. And there are times, there are situations where you use sorting. There are situations when you use sorting. So we are going to take a question, just one question, and then we'll go ahead. So now we are going to see, with sorting now, we are going to find out, with sorting and filtering now, let's take a question. What is the most expensive car? So most expensive car. So this is what we are taking. There's the question. What is the most expensive car? So we are going to use sorting to find this out, yeah? So you can just then, what's the first thing you do? You have this question to analyze. What's the first thing you do? Yeah, somebody said Lexus 2023. Let's see. So we are going to drag title to we're going to drag title to row. Yeah, that's true, sir. If they ask you what's the most expensive car, and you have to start going through this thing to be checking which one is the most expensive. You see why pivot table is very important. You cannot start going through it. I want to see the one that is most expensive. Your eye will just turn you, like seriously. So what you just do is pivot table just makes it easy. So imagine that if there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there are 5 rows, and here from there you can easily see the one that is most expensive. But what if you have millions of data? You see? So this is where pivot table comes in. So what is the most expensive car? We don't know. We want to use pivot table. Very simple. So you drag your car title to row and then your price to value. Value. Now we want to find out the most expensive car. See, this price is showing as a sum. I was meant to talk about that. We are not summing. We just want to see the most expensive car. The reason why I didn't bother is because they are not, I'm not sure there are two cars having the same name, but we have to change this to sum. Let's change this to sum. Let's change it to, we don't want it to sum. We don't want it to calculate. We can just click on it. Remember, see this price here, it's sum. It's not like, it's like it's summing all the cars. It's summing cars that are the same together. I don't know if you get. So we don't want this to sum. We just want it to be price. You can change it here. See this icon here in the value drop down here. you can click on this icon drop down, this drop down icon, value field setting. Value field setting is the last one here. Click on value field setting, and then don't summarize. No calculation. Show value as. Okay. Okay, it doesn't summarize. Okay, it doesn't summarize. My bad, it doesn't summarize. So this is the value for each cars. It doesn't summarize. So you only use this value field setting when you want to change your options. You don't want to sum, you want to count. Yeah, so it can count it for you. Do you get? It can count each cars. It doesn't summarize because they are just one. Their cars are one. Yeah. So then you can use this value field setting to use any of these options here to find max, to find mean, and all that. So this is when the value field setting comes in. So let's just continue from where we stopped. What were we talking about again? We want to find the most expensive cars. The most expensive car. So yeah, we use this sort option, this icon, drop down icon here. You click on it, and then what are we doing now? There are two ways to go about this. You can there are two ways. Now we use the first one, which you all know, which I taught you. You go to more sort option, go to descending, most expensive car, right? Go to this, change it to sum of price and click OK. We already know the most expensive car, new Lexus 2023. Is this how you want it to be? No. You just want to see only the most expensive car. You can now go to this. You can choose to go to this and then search for the Lexus name here, which is stressful, and then click on it. That's the only one you want to show, and then click on OK. Remember when I taught you filtering? So filtering and sorting goes hand to hand. Do you get? So you can do this and then click on this, and then you can search here and look for the name of which is stressful. So to make your work easy, just go to value filter. Can you see value filter here? Value filter just below label filter. You click on value filter. That's another filtering option in pivot table. You click on value filter and then you go to top 10. If you click on this value filter, you see top 10 below. It's just one we want to see, top one. But we click on top 10. Now this top 10 is showing you, do you want to see top or bottom? You can change to bottom. Bottom is when you want to see the lowest, but you know our question now is saying we want to see the highest, not the lowest. So let's say top 10 is top we want to see, the number one most expensive car. Now it's 10, it's 10 that is there. We have to change it to 1. Top 10 items by sum of price. Yeah. So when we click OK, top 1, sorry. Now this is the one, the particular one you are seeing. This is the highest. Or you can go there and say, okay, we want to see the least expensive. Go to value filter, go to top 10, change this top to what? Bottom 1, or let's say bottom 2, list to the least 2 expensive cars. So we can change it to 2 by sum of price. So we can see that we have Honda and Kairai. What kind of car is this? Kairai 2013. So they are the 2 least expensive cars in our data set. This is where sorting and filtering works. So yeah, that is it for sorting and filtering. So we are going to talk about, I hope we got this. If you have any questions, please write them down. We are going to talk about it. Now we're going to talk about grouping. I'll attend to questions after we are done. We're going to talk about grouping. Now, how do you group? Now, the grouping combines similar items. Now, you want to combine similar item. You want maybe you just want your data to be looking more tush. Yeah, you just want to like combine similar item and then you want to work with it that way. You use grouping. You use grouping, and there is drilling down. Drilling down helps you to see details behind the summarized value. So when you have a value that is summarized, drilling down helps you to see the details of the summarized value. And then we have summary function. I talked about this briefly. It helps you aggregate data in different ways. There are so many functions. We have sum, we have average, we have count, we have minimum and maximum. Now, how you use your pivot table to do this, we are going to see it. How you use your pivot table to group, we are going to see it. How you use your pivot table to drill down, we are going to see it. So that's what we are going to do now. Let's do that. Please, if you have questions, write them down. We will answer them after the class. So, yeah. Grouping, like I said, it combines similar items. It helps you to combine items together. So now how do you group in pivot table? So let's say we have our title. Now we want to insert our pivot table again. Like I said, you can go back, highlight and insert, or you go to this, copy and paste. Copy and paste. Then take this out of this thing so we can go to our next analysis. So yeah, we want to see how grouping works in pivot table. Let's say we want to group, we have our title and we have the cars title, and then we have the prices. And we have the prices. So let's say we want to group this. We want to group this. We have, let's group this first. We have prices. Yeah. Hold on. Sorry. Hold on, please.
You are planning to group the prices, correct?
Yes. Sorry. So yeah, let's say we want to group prices. Yeah. We have our price. We want to just group prices. Now, this is how grouping works in pivot table. You can take your price to row. I just want to show you how grouping works. When we drag our price to row, we have the prices of all the cars. Yeah. Let me just show you how grouping number works. We have the prices of the cars here. And then this is how grouping works. You right click on any row in your pivot table. When you right click on it, you see group down here and you see on group. So when you click group, this basically helps you. It gives you option. How do you want to group this number? This is how you group numbers in Excel. Like, it's simple. It's very, very easy. So you now choose your starting. Where do you want it to start from? It's already giving you a number, a range. It's giving you a range. It's starting at 1150. It's giving you the lowest number there, and then the ending. This is the ending, and we are grouping it by. It's giving you the range you are grouping it by. So by, it's the range, and then the starting, and then the ending. So grouping just helps you to combine similar items. And when you click OK, you see that it groups. So it kind of makes analysis easier, especially when you are having a whole much data, like rows to do with. Now this helps you group it easily. Now you can analyze with this data easily. Okay, where is the grouping being found? Let's do that again. So you can right click on this. You can right click on this and then see group. You right click on any place in your pivot table, any row, you right click on it and then you see group and ungroup. When you click group, it brings up options. What do you want it to start with? What do you want it to end it? And what are you group? What's the range? So now this is what are you grouping it by? So this is what we want. You can change your values if you want to. It depends on what you want to use, the range you want to use. Then you click OK because it automatically gave me this range. Excuse me. So it automatically gave me this range and then you click OK. So it groups like this. So it just combines everything and make it easier for you to work with. So This can as well work for dates. You can try this on your own group dates. And yeah, so this is how grouping works in Excel. So now we are going to talk about how drilling down works as well. So how do you drill down in Excel? Let's choose one of our questions that we've worked with before. Let's go to the first question. Now, like I said, drilling down helps you to it shows you the insights behind the summarized data. That is it basically. So it just shows you the insights that makes up that summarized data. So if you can see now, brand new is summarized. Yeah, no, I said you can try it out for dates too. It works for date. It works for date. It works for numbers. It works for date. So if you get a data set that has dates, you can try to group just like I did, and it will work as well. So it's a very good feature in Excel. So type, and we're talking about, I'm lost, drilling down. Yeah, drilling down. So it helps you to see what is behind that summarized data. So we can see now that there are types, and there are some brand new, foreign use, loan, local use. So it seems like many of you are not paying attention. Many of you are not paying attention because I said it like over and over again, why we use grouping. And please, you can go through the recording again if you do not get anything, so for us to save time, please. Then
Yeah, so you can just sorry, Dora. So you can just
yeah,
continue. So I'll be attending to them so that when there is this time for question, they you just take one or two or three
okay,
questions so that you don't
okay.
get distracted. Yeah.
All right, sir. So, yeah, we are talking about drilling down. So how do you see what is behind a summarized data? This is where the drilling down function comes in. So drilling down is very easy. This is a summarized data of the brand new type, foreign use, loan, cars that are loaned, local use, and Nigerian use. So I want to see the details behind the Nigerian use cars. I can just click on it, double click. See, it takes me down to the Nigerian use cars. Do you see? That is how the drilling down works. It just takes you to another worksheet entirely. Now you can see the details, the type, this Toyota Camry, Toyota, this thing. Let's widen this. To widen this now, you can just highlight to arrange your, so you can just highlight this and double click on any place here. It's just, yeah, it just does this for you. So
Please,
we
can
can
you
see,
take that
okay,
this part?
let's do it again. So like just to see our values clearer, to align this, you just highlight your your data, and then you double click on any of this. You can double click between A or B, or B or C, or anywhere between any column, and it just, sorry, let's do that again. Double click between any column, and then it arranges it for you. It aligns it for you properly, so we can see our data clearly. Let's do it again. Control Z. We have our data. We highlight from the cell here, from cell A, B to C. After highlighting, to click on
Sorry,
anywhere.
please. I mean how you got here. How you got here? As in before you
Okay,
got
how
here.
I got here. Okay, so we are going to take that part again. That is the drilling down option. So we are going to do that again. So now let's delete this worksheet, because this is, let's just delete it and start again. Delete. So now, how did we get down there? We're talking about drilling down. Drilling down is a feature in Excel. How do you use it, and why do you use it? Most times you use it to see what is behind the summarized data. Yeah. Now, how do you use it? Now we have types and some. We are using one of our example we did, one of our analysis we did. We have type of cars and then the sum of all the cars. Now we want to see Nigerian cars, the cars that are actually Nigerian use. It's not showing here, but I want to see it. Yeah. And then I want to see every other details that is here, that is behind this summarization. So to do that, I will just double click on the sum. You cannot drill down something that is not summarized. Yeah. So when you double click on it, it takes you to a different worksheet entirely, showing you the details under that thing that behind that thing that you double clicked on. That is how drilling down works. Yeah. In Power BI, it's almost the same thing. but it's you have to go through a lot to even do that. But for Excel, it's quite simple. You just double click on it, and then it takes you to another worksheet, giving you every details under this under that particular listing that was summarized. So now you can highlight this and then align this. I want us to see the cars clearly. Now these are what we have. Now under Nigerian, the Nigerian type, we have Toyota, we have this, there are actually 5. Yeah, you can do that for also. Let's try that for loan. Let's see the cars that were actually loaned. You can double click on the price here, double click on it, and then it takes you to another sheet. See, there are 66 rows here. Count. When you see count under here, count down here, that's 66. So basically, there are like 65 cars here that are loaned. So you can see them. They give you the title and the price, and then do you get? So this is how drilling down works in Excel. So you want to show you want to show for example, you are working in a company, and then you want to show there's a data like this, and then you want to find out, okay, what is behind the summarization of this data. Yeah, so you can just like click on it, and then it takes you to that particular thing, and then you see everything you want to. So it's that easy. So yeah, so that is how drilling down works in Excel. So I hope everyone is following. If you have questions, please drop them in the comments, and or you write them down, and attend to them later. So yeah, that is how drilling down works in Excel. So we are going to look at the summary functions, how all these functions work in Excel. How all this function works in Excel. Now, how do you use the summary function? How do you use the max, the mean, the average, and all that? You know, when we were in school, when we did mathematics, we actually know a lot of these things, how to sum, I think it's even the easiest thing to do in Excel. But now, how do you use it in your pivot table? Now, how do we use sum? How do we use price? How do you use max, mean? So let's still use this first data that we worked on. We are still using this first data that we worked on. Now we are going to just play around the sum, the max, the mean, and then the count. Yeah. So I hope we are all following. Can I go ahead, sir?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, so we're going to just play around the function, how it works. So you can say, okay, this is the sum of price. You know, this was the first question we attended to, right? The sum of price for all foreign use cars. It gave us the sum of price for all foreign use cars. The first thing we attended to, yeah, the sum of price for all foreign use cars. We had it here. So let's say we want to actually count, not sum. How many cars are brand new? How many cars are foreign use? How many cars are loaned? How many cars are local? How many cars are Nigerian use? We just want to count. We don't want to sum. This is where the function comes in. You just go to this value drop down icon here. When you click on it down here in your pivot table field, when you click on it, this thing comes up. You see value field setting down. Yeah, click on value field setting, and then you can change. You can play between all these things. You can now change. You can now go to count. I want to count. I just want to count how many are brand new. You can click on count, and then you click on OK. So now it gives it to you. There are 77 brand new. Like, it's so easy. If you ask the question now, you have a data set like this now, and then you ask the question, how many cars are brand new? You can be counting them one after the other. This is where pivot table comes in. You just create your pivot table. You go to your pivot table created. You drag them. Use the field pane. Drag your price to okay, let's redo that. Let's copy this. Remember, I said you can insert, you can just copy and paste. Copy and paste. So now let's do it again. Let's check the number of cars, the number of car type. So we are going to use the count button. This pasted as a value. Sorry. So we're going to copy and paste. Let's do this. Control C. Control V. So let's count the number of car type. So we are going to drag type to a row. Yeah. So we are dragging type to row. These are the types of cars we have. And then we are dragging price to where value. Yeah. So count, we already changed it to count before. So it's automatically count because now, how did we change it to count before? We can now change it back to sum. So you just play around it. You can change it back to sum. You can leave it at count. Now, count of price. Now, you can either use count of price. Now, I saw somebody was like, it says count of price. Now, you can use two things. You can actually use count of price or count of price. Like, it just counts how many prices that are brand new, how many prices that are foreign use, how many prices that are loan. Do you get? So it can give you as count, or you can as well do count of. It should give you the same thing. Let's see. Of how do you? Okay, it won't give you. Let's see if this will work. It can give you count. Okay, you see, it's still the same thing. So is you can either do your count of price. It shows count of price. It just counts how many prices are brand new in your data set. In your data set, how many prices are brand new showing? So it just gives you how many prices are foreign use. You can as well just use count of type. You drag type to value, and then it will count it automatically for you. So it's still the same thing. It just counts how many brand new is appearing in that data. So it's counting it. 77. How many foreign use? So like this now, we can even see the highest used type of car, which is foreign used. Local use is second to the highest. So you can do that. You can do kind of count of price. This type 2 cannot sum. Like if we try to change this count of type to sum, it will not summarize. Who can tell me why? I try to click sum. It's not so 000. Who can tell me why? Anybody in the chat, use your chat box. If I try to change it to sum, it doesn't work. Use your chat box. Very good. Somebody has given me the answer. Because it is a text. Because type is a text. It is not numerical. Very good. So that is why it cannot sum. It cannot sum. Text format. You're getting it. So now that is how you can play around count. So let's go back to price. Taking price here, it counts. Now this price, you can as well change it to what value field setting. You can change it to your sum, and then you click OK. It summarizes everything for you. Now you can as well do max, maximum, minimum, just play around it. Yeah, one thing about learning is when you can be able to like play around with things on your own. Like after you're being taught, you go back to your laptop, your laptop, your system, and then do this, practice this thing. Because if you don't practice it, you will forget. Now, because it's not everything. Let me tell you something. It's not everything that you will be taught. Yeah, there are things that you will also figure out yourself. Just be told. You go on YouTube, you do your research. There are things me I'm still even learning in this Excel. Do you get? So it's not everything you'll be taught. So on your own, you can go to YouTube, learn more. Okay, I just learned pivot table. Can I go to somebody? Can I go to there are a lot of people you can go through on YouTube, learn pivot table, or then you can go and do what you go through the recording again and practice what you were taught. Play around it, play around count, play around maximum, how to use maximum, how to use minimum, and all that. So how to use average. You can as well use average. You click on this, click on value field setting, see average here. You click on average and then you click on OK. So it just gives you the average of the average price of brand new, average price of foreign use, average price of all these things. Yeah, that's how it works. So, and now I'm going to show you how to let's hold on. Yeah, so I just showed you how to play around all these summary functions. So now we are going to talk about customizing. Yeah, I missed something. Customizing your pivot styles and layout. Customizing your pivot styles and layout. Before we go to how to insert your chart. So now, how do you customize your pivot style? Like There are times you just want your pivot table to look neat and well presentable. Yeah. So let's customize this. It's actually very easy to go through. So we have our pivot table. Yeah. Let's use the first data that we worked on, the first and this thing that we analyzed. Sets that we analyzed, first pivot charts, the first pivot table that we used. Sorry, we analyze. So we want to customize this pivot table. How do we customize it? We want to make it look good and all that. So, and we don't want to even see this grand total. I don't even need this grand total that is showing here. Or this grand total that is even showing down here. You want to even take it off so your data can be well presented. I don't want them to see this grand total. I don't need it. There are times when you need the total. Good. Yeah. But like this is telling you the number of cars counted, the total number of cars, 3,999. But you don't want you don't want to see it. You just want to see the count for each card. You can take it off. It's among your customization, how to customize and your pivot table layout and all that. So how do we do that? We can click on this and then go to your Reborn tab up. You see pivot table analyze. Yeah, pivot table analyze. Yeah, you click on it. Pivot table analyze. Then you see design. Design is after it. Pivot table analyze. So the design option is what you use to what customize your pivot table and to design it and all that. So when you click on it, you can see so many options here. You play through it. Like I said, it's not everything you retouch. On your own, you can go and see, okay, how does subtotal works? How does grand total works? How does report layout works? Report layouts, okay, it's tabular form. It can just put it in tabular form for you. Just play around it. So you can customize it. We just put this particular one in tabular form. So yeah, so that's how to customize. You can as well choose your table, your pivot table, and choose the style you want. See these designs here. So we'll be going on break shortly. You can go down and then choose the style you want. Let's say C. It's actually so choose any nice style you want, design you want. That is how you can customize. And then you can remove your grand total easily. Click on grand total, right click on it, remove grand total, and it's off. So that is how you can customize your. See, it's looking better, although it's so colorful. I don't really like colors. I prefer black and white. So this is how you can customize your pivot table. So we are going to go on a 5 minutes break, and then when we are back, we'll talk about how to insert charts and answer your questions, and that will be all for our class. I hope that's fine, sir. How to
Yes, thank you
insert
so much.
pivot
Yeah,
charts.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. All
So
right.
guys, let's just recess our brain for
We'll be
like
back in five
5 minutes.
minutes. All right.
Yeah, that's 3:44. Yes. 11:44, I mean 11:44. We're back by 11:44.
Okay, so we are back. Yes, you'll be given an assignment after class. You definitely will be given an assignment. Asked Udeme Okun. Yeah, you'll be given an assignment. Did you get that? When I start the video, man. Thank you.
Yes, welcome back, guys. Yeah, we are back. Let's go. Over to you, Dera.
Okay, so we are back. So I hope everybody is here. Let's just try to lighten up the mood small before we continue. A little. Let's just lighten up the mood before we continue. So we don't have much left. It's just very brief. We should be done with my session in the next 15 minutes, and then we'll go on to the next one. So let's say, imagine you get an offer of like $1 million. Yeah. You get an offer of like $1 million, and then you have to like survive 30 days in the jungle without phone, without internet. You can only take something, one thing to survive with. What will you take? Drop your comment. Drop your comments in the chat box. Like you know what $1 million is now. You know what $1 million is? Like you are offered $1 million. You have to survive 30 days in the jungle, and you're just with your phone. Somebody said Bible. Will Bible keep you alive? I understand your Bible, but what are you going to be doing? You'll be praying. Oh yeah, manna can fall from above. No, you're not supposed to go with your phone. No phone, no internet. No phone, no internet. You can only take one survivor. Somebody said food. Will you eat food all through? What if your food you eat can't sustain you for the whole 30 days? Or what if wild animals come and collect your food? eh? Yeah, it's possible because you're in the jungle. Definitely they will smell what you have. They'll come and collect it. It's filled with stream and bushmeat. Okay, so what will you take if jungle is filled with stream and bushmeat? Your partner. You will go with your partner. Will your partner keep you warm? Some people will say blanket. Me, I won't go with food. What do you think I will go with? I won't go with food. Somebody is saying, everybody's saying food. Food translated Quran. Interesting. 3 months. 3 months. You've been in the jungle for you've been in the jungle for 3 months. Oh, really? Laptop, eh? Apan, what will you be doing your laptop in the jungle? Will there be network? They said you don't have internet. No phone, no internet. Somebody said book. Please, what will you be doing with book in the jungle? Will you be writing down your experience? Okay, so let me tell you. Yeah, it's a coder indeed. Oh my god. So I think me, I'll go with a machete. Oh, with a good knife. Shane, why did you say knife? Why did you say knife? You have my idea. You are thinking the way I'm thinking. Shane, why did you say knife? Food. What if wild animals come and collect your phone? Hey, to kill animal. Your head is there. I'll go with a machete or a knife. I can use it to defend myself. I can use it when wild animal come. I can use it to kill myself. To kill, sorry, wild animals. I can also use the knife to catch bushmeat and eat. Gone, gone. Machete. It can keep you alive for the next 30 days in the jungle. No? You see, my survival instinct is very high. So yeah, this is very good. We're going to go on with our class now. Let's continue. Yeah, my screen is still on, right? You can still see my screen. Oh, you are really a coder, Akwan. So you can still see my screen, right? If you can, please indicate. Indicate.
Yes, you can. Please, can you off your session, your comment section, so that it's larger?
Okay,
Can you
all right,
just
okay.
use that?
So
Yeah.
you can see my screen, right? So let's continue. We are going to talk about inserting pivot chart. So how do you insert a chart? When we were in secondary school, I'm sure we we went through something like bar charts, pie charts, and so many kind of charts. Yeah. So I guess some people were not fan of mathematics, but yeah, I'm sure everybody still went through that. So yeah, we're going to talk about how to insert charts. Now, chart is basically used for visualization. So it helps you just visualize your data. It makes it easy for you to present, to translate. Yeah. When you are presenting your data to a board of director, you can just use your visuals to show them, make it easy to understand. So now, how do you insert charts? Now let's use this first one. I'm just going to give you an example and that'll be it. You can go and practice more. Now let's use this first pivot chart. How do you insert? Now we have the type of cars and then we have the prices. Now we want to insert this in a chart so it can be easy to visualize. So what do? You first of all highlight your pivot chart, your pivot table. This table now, this particular one that we want to insert in a chart, we highlight it. I'm sure you can see what I'm doing. After highlighting it, where do you go to? You go to insert. In your ribbon above, your ribbon tab, you see insert. You click on insert, and then now you like I said, always play around all these things. If you don't play around with, you don't know what it's used for. Truth be told. So when you see insert, you see recommended charts, you see pivot chart. So you can use your recommended chart, you can use your pivot chart where we're inserting pivot charts. Yeah. So you can click on pivot charts, click on it, and then it gives you options. It's already giving you one. It's showing you cluster charts. You know, we also need to, somebody cannot see my screen. Please confirm if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Okay. So I think it's from your end. The person that can't see my screen, it's from your end. So now you click on charts, it gives you a lot of options. So you have to pick. Now there's something, as an analyst, there's something you need to understand, that the chart you pick for your data matters a lot. You cannot have like millions of data and then you're picking pie charts. I don't know if you get. You cannot have millions of data and then you're picking pie chart to represent it. The line will just be small, 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 so it will look like ring. So it will not really be, and it will not be giving you that insight you want to. So the type of chart you use for your data matters a lot. So I would like us to go on our own, like an assignment. It's not necessarily an assignment for yourself, not for you to submit. Go through chart type and what they are used for. For example, to represent trend, to show trends, you use line charts. So like what can I use this chart for? Because as a data analyst, if you are visualizing these things and then you're not even getting the right visuals, you're not professional, basically. Yeah, you're not professional. So imagine I'm having like this type now is up to 15 and I'm going to use pie charts. It will look rough. It won't even look neat. Do you get? So now I'm going to use something I feel is the best for this, representing this. And to me, I think if you want to use pie charts, you can see pie charts here. Yeah? It's showing us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's showing us the 5. It's easy. But me, I think using pie charts, I don't use pie charts when it's more than 3 or 4. But in this case, you can still use it. But when it's more than 3 or 4, I don't even use pie chart because to me, it just looks clustered. Yeah. So now you can use your bar charts. Yeah. It shows it, or you use your column chart. Now, column chart is actually cool. When you pick the chart you want, you can now click on OK. Now, this is your chart for this and for this particular analysis. Now, this is your chart. Now, with the chart, you can easily explain to whoever you're presenting to. Now, how do you make your chart even look good? You can't leave all these things here, total, count of price, type, blah, blah, blah. You have to like edit it off. Now, this is showing the count of card type. Yeah, count of car type. Okay, we have 10 minutes left for this session. We're almost done. So we use the rest of the minutes to answer our question. So you can edit this count of car type. You edit your title. Make sure your title is something actually relatable. And then you can as well remove this count of price type or this field pane here. You click on it, right click, and then remove field. Oh, sorry. Go back. You click on it, right click, and then hide value field button from charts. hide it. You can hide it. It will not show. It just makes your chart looks neat. Click on this type, right? Click it, add axis field on this chart. So it just makes your chart looks actually presentable. Arrange it. You can as well play through it. See all this, see this plus sign, see this brush sign, formatting. You can play through it. You see this pen here. You see this pen option here. This pen option here, format chart, play through it. So on your own, just go through all these things and you'll be able to like figure out how to navigate. So this is how you insert your chart, and then you can now be explaining, okay, brand new, we can see from the chart that this brand new is just, this is not even the highest we can see is foreign use. So visualization just helps you analyze your data and to present it easily to people that are not even data inclined to understand. So this is it for pivot table, and I'm sure I've really covered everything you need to know on pivot table for real. So the rest is left to you. It's left to you to go and study more about pivot table and uncover the things that we did not uncover. I doubt there are any. So back to everyone. Questions. Let's use the few minutes to answer questions. Yeah, so you can drop your questions in the comment section. Drop your questions in the comment section. How was the class? Was it insightful? Yeah, if yes, drop your questions. Drop your answers. Drop your questions.
A clap emoji if you've enjoyed the class. Yeah. So sorry, DERA, just while we are waiting for the questions to drop,
Yes, sir.
I just want to quickly just add to, I hope it's been a great session, I want to believe, right? So two things I want to just add is, someone was saying, what do we want to do with the data at the beginning of the class? He said, what do we want this data? So, and she has answered that. She said, for this class, it's just for you to learn, right? To learn how to use the pivot table for different use cases. But of course, there is a lot you can do with the data. That's the data from a particular website that the car data from a particular website that shows the different types of cars and the prices. So, all right. So you can do a lot. Oh, for example, the aim of this data when we scrape this data was to ensure that we look at, okay, what are the most expensive cars? What kind of cars are best for middle class, high earners, and the rest. So you can also do that. Although the next session will take you to how you can even drill down and clean this data and even create new columns from this data. All right. But at least this session is aimed at teaching you how to use pivot table. And as you go towards the end of the class, you learn how to, draw insights from this data, because how to solve problems and all. So it's going to be a very, very interesting session from start to finish. This is just like the starting, and it's already great. So just look forward to more. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. So I just have a few questions. Let me just attend to it for the next 2 minutes. Somebody asked, if there were blanks, what would you have done? So if there were blanks in the data set, you can check, like I said, if the data set, if that particular column is not needed, it's not necessary, you can just take it off. And if it is actually important, you need to confirm, or you don't just take off columns like that. You need to be very sure that this does not affect your data. Then if there is, you can check out the reason why there are blanks. And from the reason, you can know if you can replace it with average of the numbers, or you can replace it with NA, yeah, or no, or NA, yeah, but you need to confirm, because there are situations whereby that NA can as well affect your data set, or you need to confirm from where you got your data, or whoever gave you the data, or from the company, why this place is blank, or if they have the right data. So if there are none, you can figure it out by replacing it with the average or the mean or the medians of that value. You can go and research more about blanks, and yeah, you'll be able to get solutions on that. So how are you able to have multiple pivot table on one sheet? It's very possible, yeah. So you can just keep on creating on your sheets. If you want to move to your next worksheet, you can. But on that worksheet, when you are done with your first pivot table, you can go below and then create another pivot table, go below and create another pivot table. You can choose to go to another worksheet, and yeah, that's it. So yeah, for YouTube, you can go to your YouTube and then just check about it. Just type it there. You see a lot of things about shortcuts. You can type shortcuts for Excel and it comes up and all that. So yeah, If you have about 20 columns in a data set, how will you check blanks at once? I just explained that. Yeah. So, and yeah. So I have a question. I have an assignment for us, so we can just take it down shortly. My time is up. So let's this scenario questions. What's the total price? Now the first one said, what type of car is mostly purchased by customers? Yeah. The second one said, what's the total revenue? Please take out that revenue, use price. It's not a sales, it's price. Now, what's the total price generated from sales of all car? The total price of all car, basically. So please correct that question. What's the total price of all cars? Then what car is the most expensive? We've already done this before, but let's do this on our own. Try to play around the questions, and then you'll be grouped, and then you'll be grouped on how you attend to your assignments. So I think I'm done. Please, I hope you took down the questions.
Yeah, I've
Please, you
sent
can
it to the group.
screenshot it.
I've
Okay,
screenshot
all right,
and sent to the group. So
all
for
right, sir.
the
So
continuous.
that's all for me.
Okay, thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dara. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We are going to go into the next session, but before we do that, like she said, there's going to be your attendance is going to be used to split into groups. So when you get the assignment, you will share the group on the group. We share the groups, the groupings on the group, so that you can take you can know what next to do, right? So that's that about that. With the class be every day for 4 weeks. No, it's every weekend, Saturdays, every weekend like this. So so that we balance out on those who are working. So let me quickly just bring in Celestine. Please, are you there? Okay.
Yes. Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon, everyone. Can we all hear me?
They can all hear you. They can only chat, right? So that for decorum, yeah, they can all hear you.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, I've been on this call, yeah, and I think you all enjoyed the class, and it was a very interesting one. Yeah, DERA did a very fantastic job on that, and I also think you enjoyed yourself as well. All right. So, yeah, so we're
Can you bring the volume up a bit so that they can hear you? Yeah.
Can you hear me, please? Okay. So, yeah, as I said, so we are going to the next one, right? So we're going into, I think, so let me share my screen. Sorry, a minute, I'm trying to share. Okay, please confirm if you can see my screen with your reaction, with your emojis, or maybe you can chat in the chat box. You can see my screen. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, audible and clear. Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. So yeah, so from the curriculum, right, that we already shared. So our next agenda is for lookup functions in Excel, right? So we are going to be looking at what are the lookups functions we have in Excel, right? What are they used for? What's the need? What's the usefulness? All right. How can we utilize it for data analysis? How can we use it for data analysis? So and so that will now bring us to understanding the VLOOKUP, the HLOOKUP, and XLOOKUP as well, right? So let's get into it. So what are the lookups in Excel, right? So what are lookups in Excel? So what do you understand by lookups in Excel, right? So, but before I continue, just let me share the data set, right, that I'm going to use for this class. I already prepared that Excel sheet. So let me stop sharing and quickly share that with you. Quickly. Sorry, a sec. Sharing.
Or you can just share with me on WhatsApp so that I can share with them on the group, right? So that you don't need to share here.
I'm already sending it to the group.
Okay.
So I've sent it to the tech community group, right? So I think everybody have access to that. So let me reshare now so that we can continue. Okay, please confirm if you can see my screen. All right, so I believe you can see my screen. So yes, so let's
Yeah.
continue. So what are lookups in Excel? So lookups in Excel are functions that we use to search for and retrieve data from a data set. It's very important, Excel skill that you have to have, either you're a data analyst or you are working the operations in companies, be the HR or the do administration. Lookup is very key, very important, in industries and for all corporate, working class. Yeah. Uh, so their function is to search and retrieve specific data from data set, right? So let's get to understand the need, all right, for lookups in data. And why do we need lookups? So the first one here on my slide is for data retrieval, all right? It allows you to quickly fetch specific data from a large data set, right? From a large data set. Don't worry, we are going to go into application of this very quickly. Also, for data validation, it ensures accuracy by cross-referencing multiple sources. And the third one on my slide is for merging data sets, all right? Just like the ins or the ice break that just to clear our mind, when we were preparing for this training, when Mr. Mike tagged that, okay, I will handle, VLOOKUPs for merging of columns. So we use it for merging data sets, all right, to combine data from different tables using a common key, all right. Automating reports, full, full dynamic data for dashboards and summaries. So there are a couple of them actually. So these are just few of them. So the next one is, you can use it to handle large data efficiently, automate searches, reducing manual efforts, for example, maybe let me give an illustration. Maybe you work with an employee, and then you have about 500 employees in your organization, right? And you want to know,
Can you bring
uh,
the volume up a bit? The volume up a bit.
okay,
No, I mean you personally. Just raise your voice a bit so that. I mean you yourself personally. Just when you are speaking, speak up a bit. You get. Okay, I have something.
Can you hear me loud and clear? I'm trying to set it up. Sorry.
Very good now. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
I think I am using the headphone as my speaker, my microphone instead of my.
Okay. Okay. Great. It's very sharp now. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Let's continue. Yeah. So as I was saying, so let's say you are working with a very large data set, like an employee data, and you wanted to find, maybe there's a complaint from a particular employee. I've not received my payment. I've not received my monthly salary, blah, blah, blah. And then try to check your Excel, maybe you build a payroll system, for you develop a payroll, system for paying your employees, all right? And then the name of the employee is Adefolaju, being paid or whatever. And then the employee is in number 1,000 rows, and you need to check this to confirm the transactions. Maybe you omitted an omission, it was an oversight, sending to the finance to make payments and the likes. So you are now scrolling one by one. You are now scrolling your this thing like this. That will take a lot of time before you can actually get the confirm if the employee has received payment or not from your data set, in Excel sheet. So that's why we use VLOOKUP. So it's used to look up for something in the data, as simple as ABC as that, right? So we have to understand the need, for data analysis, which I've stated, for data retrieval, data validation, merging data sets, report, handling large data efficiently, which, just like example I just gave now, which reduce your manual efforts. I hope we are following. Okay, so the next one here is for conditional data extraction. Conditional data extraction. What does that mean? It's find closest matches or next available values, all right, with some certain conditions, for trend analysis and the likes. All right, so let's go to the main domain, all right, why we are here, and that is how we can apply it, right, on our Excel sheets. I believe we've opened that. Oh, sorry, I've not. So let me quickly open my data set. Okay, so this is the data set. All right, so this data set is for GGCAS. So we are going into applications now. So we want to look at how VLOOKUP works. All right, so this is for VLOOKUP functions. So this is the syntax. All right, and I've also explained the syntax here. I'm not able to read you to time. All right, but it's as simple as ABC. The lookup value, then your table array, then column index number, then the range lookup. So what does lookup value mean? It means the value to look for in the first column of the table. Note first column. Please take note the word first column. I will explain that later. Then the table array, the table from which to retrieve a value, right? Where do you want to get your data from? Is it from heaven, from Earth, from Jupiter, anywhere? The table from which you will retrieve a value from. Column index number. Okay, from Jupiter, from heaven, from Earth. What exactly are you trying to pick out? Do you want to pick out the tree, the water, the fishes, or whatever? So I'm trying to use that scenario just for you to understand. All right. So column index number, the column is the table from which to retrieve value from what you really need, from that table. Then the range lookup, all right, which is very, 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 very important. All right. So we have two options. We have true, we have false. True is for approximate match. For some people who doesn't know how to use it might be thinking that, oh, true, and it will give me true value, which is it's not correct. What will actually give us the true value is the false option, which is it gave us the exact match. Okay? So let's go into how to apply that. Okay, so we have this data set. All right, so the data set has a lot of type of cash, brand new, foreign, loan, local, Nigerian. So I've created columns for each of these, types of cash that we have. So let's say you know, the boss asks us that, okay, maybe from a particular team or unit, you know, and then they, from data, they already highlighted, you know, all brand cars, and there's, okay, please can you give me the prices, you know, for this so type of cars, you know, Lexus, IS 250, Toyota Camry, blah blah blah, and the likes. All right. So, and they have it, you have it on, you now have it on this sheet, right? And the team, you know, is not asking for the prices of that what was it called now? Of that of the cars. Are we following? I'm trying to be a little bit fast so I can meet up with time. I don't have much time. So yeah, are we following? So the team now gave you, you know, the list and asked you to, you know, ask you to give in or have the prices of the cars. So what do you do? What do you do? Will you have to be scrolling, you know, one by one? Oh, I'm looking for, maybe it's Prado. Oh, where's Prado? Where's Prado? You know, that will take a lot of time. So, but what we use is to use VLOOKUP to quickly, you know, get out of that. All right. So now, so let me filter. So I already filter. So how do you get to filter? Come to your data, all right, and come to filter. Or you can use Control+Shift+L. I love shortcut a lot, but so you can come to data and come to filter. So I come to type, drop down, brand new, all right, and I say okay, all right. So these are there are also duplicates, all right. So we have 78 of brand new cache in our data set. You can see the count from my status bar right here, all right, where my cursor or pointer is. All right, so all I need to do is copy and then come to brand new cache and then paste it. All right, double click that to expand my title and then come back to data. All right, so what I need is the prices, right? So okay, so let's get into it. So I'm going to rename this as prices, right? I'm going to go that Control B. All right, so now we want to get our prices for all these cars. Okay, so I want you to observe something now, right? So as I said before, that we have duplicates on our, what's it called now, on our data. All right, so if I copy this and then come to, I'll come to data and then I'll come to data tab. I'll come to where I have remove duplicates. Click on that. All right, I say expand connection, continue with the current selection. So I will click on continue with current selection. I will remove duplicate. So he said my column have a title. Yes, I'll say what? Okay. So you can see that we have this figure duplicate and we have 78. I don't know why it's giving me this 1044. So we have 78 and then 57 unique values what remain. So I'll say okay. All right. But
sorry, please kindly do that again. Kindly do that again so that they can get it.
All right. So let me Control Z. Okay, so we are back to 78. So what we wanted to do, we wanted to know a unique, you know, cache type, titles of cache. All right, titles of cache are unique titles of cache. So this has been highlighted, and then I'll come to my data tab. Then from my data tab, I'll go to data tools. Then from data tools, I'll come to these options there, which when I hover over it, it shows remove duplicate. So I'll click on remove duplicates. All right, so the dialog box pops up and say remove duplicates warning. Do you want to continue the expand? Do you want to expand the selection, or you want to continue the current selection? So if you want to expand the selection, that means it will cover the prices column as well. But I'm not doing that, so I want to restrict it to only title. So I only continue with the current selections, and then I will remove the duplicates in my date. So this is just a plus, you know, that you can also work with, you know, your office, or yeah. So remove duplicates, and then I'll click OK. So from 78 we are back to 7. I hope we get that now. Okay, so that's fine. So what am I driving at? All right. So let's say okay, they are all brand new cars, right? Let me try and filter for this guy. Okay, let's do it this way so that we don't waste too much of our time. Right? So let's Control Z to go back. Let's go back. Okay, let's go back one more time. So we have a 78. So let us highlight the duplicates. All right, come to Home tab, come to Conditional Formatting, come to Highlight Sales Rules. All right, come all over to Duplicate Values. So duplicate values. All right. So this has helped me to, you know, highlight all the duplicates for me so that I can find them. I can be able to find them very quickly. All right. So I say okay. So this guy is a duplicate. All right. So how am I driving out? Watch me. I'll copy, come to data sheets. All right. Come to data sheets, and from here I'm going to paste it. All right. And I say okay. So can you see? So we have a different title of cash, the same title of cash. Are we together now? The same title of cash, the same title of cash, and different prices for each of them. But they are all brand new, we know that, right? But what makes them different? What makes them different is the description, right? You can see that this one is a what? It's a Land Cruiser VX, 4-wheel drive, 4 doors, 7 seats. Whoa, this one is what? This one is, what's the next one? This one is a model original custom duty keyless. This one is, you know, this one is a Toyota Land Cruiser Jeep. This one is brand new. We have so many copies with other Toyota and Lexus, just them, you know, blah 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 like that. So this is a brand. So, and now what am I driving at? All right. Now, if I want to look up now for new Toyota Land Cruiser Black, and the boss or the team that is in need of the price per se, maybe as an agent, you want to advertise, you want to publicize, you want to sell a car, all right, and to your client, all right, and you know they are all new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023 Black, all right, but there are different prices. Maybe there's one of 350, there's one of 225, there's one of 270, there's one of 180, there's one of 170, and the like. So maybe the client say, give me the cheapest one, you know, which is what? This 170,000. Now I want to look up now, right? I want to look up for new Toyota Land Cruiser Black. But I'm looking for what? I'm looking for this 170,000 of a price. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen. So let's apply a VLOOKUP now equals to, now be careful anytime you want to write a function, all right, or you want to input a formula or exact formula, exact functions, you start with an equals to. Are we together? You start with an equals to first. So I'm going to input, type my equals to first, then VLOOKUP tab. All right, what's my lookup value? This guy, new to Land Cruiser 2023 Black. All right, comma. I've explained the syntax. my table array, all right, meaning from which table, all right. Please, I want us to get this once and for all. So my lookup value first, what I want to look for. Then table array, meaning, all right, I'll use an example of, okay, are you getting it from heaven, from water, from the sea, or whatever, all right? So which table am I getting it from, all right? Which is, I'm getting it, what I'm looking for, all right, is from this data. Are we together? So that's my table array, meaning from which table that I want to get what are the data from, all right, or the prices from, all right, is where from this table, all right. You can see immediately I click on that sheet, then we have data exclamation which shows that you're on that sheet already. Are we together? Then comma, then the column index number, all right, column index number, all right. What number? Number. We are looking for what? We are looking for the price of new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023 Black, of the cheapest price.
Sorry, it's like a lot of people are lost. So let me just quickly summarize. We are going to continue let me just quickly summarize what he's trying to do. So he has talked about you are treating VLOOKUP, SLOOKUP, these different lookup functions. In this first sheet, he has data, the raw data from what that was shared on WhatsApp, right? That's the data. Now he wants what he's trying to do now is that he copied that column A in your data column, he copied it and pasted it in the brand new cars sheet. I talked about different sheets. Data is sheet 1, brand new car is sheet 2, foreign use car is sheet 3 on his Excel. So brand new cars, we are in brand new cars now. So he has copied the data from data sheet to brand new cars and removed duplicates. So remove duplicate so that you now have unique title of cars. Then now what he's doing now is using VLOOKUP equals to VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, from what he explained before, it takes the data, that is the what you want to look up for. If you check this brand new cars table, he's looking up for the first column, right? And then from which table? From the data table. Then it can continue. So you can just do a run through and then just calm down and do a run through for them again. All right, so that they get it. Thank you.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mike. Okay, so let's continue, right? So what I was trying to, so let me escape. I'll press the ESC button on my keyboard. I'll escape that. So what we are trying to do, right? So a little bit of recap from my data. I copied. I'm going to clear this, right? So first of all, I filter for all brand new cars. All right, I already created a sheet for brand new cars. All right, and then, oh sorry, I rearranged that. Okay, so I already created a sheet for brand new cars. Then from my data, I filtered for only brand new. All right, I told you how you can go to filter from your data tab, then you go to filter. All right, and then I copied all the data, all right, and then I come to my brand new card, I pasted it, all right, and then I said that we want to find the prices of all these cars. Are we together now? We want to find all the prices of all these cars. Let's say a client, for example, all right, wanted to buy a car from your, maybe your company, all right, your company sells cars, all right, and then the client is particular about new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023 Black, right? And then the agent, are we together? Please, can you hear me? Okay.
Sorry, can you explain why you did that conditional formatting after you copied and then removed duplicate?
Okay. Okay. So from my data, I copied and then I pasted. I already filtered there, then copied, then pasted it on this brand new cars. All right. So I wanted to, because of course we have duplicates in our data. We have about okay, although these brand new cars are 78 of them. All right. And then I come to brand new cars, I pasted it. All right. So we have 78 brand new cars. Are we together now? So of course we have duplicates. So how was I able to get the cars
titles that are duplicated. All right. So I come to home. All right. Then come to conditional formatting. Then I come to alike sales rules. I hover over that, and then I go all the way to duplicate values. And then I click neat, and then the options for which particular color that I want to use. You want to use light, yellow, green. All right. So light is by like a default. So I click OK. All right. So that's how we arrive here. Are we all on the same page now? Your thoughts, your reactions. Okay, thank you. So now, and then I said that maybe a client, every agent, in a company there will be agents, and then agent looks for client to buy cars. All right. So let's say, for example, an agent have gotten a client, all right, and the agent, an agent has gotten a client, and then the client is wanted to buy a car from your company, all right, and then the client is particular about new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023 Black, all right, and then but there's a but now. We now have, because now I'm trying to explain to you that we want to look up, all right, but there are different prices for all these cars. For example, now this new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023 Black, now there's a different prices for it. So I'm trying to tell you that be careful when you want to use VLOOKUP. All right, be careful when you want to use VLOOKUP. So now, for example, if the client says that I need the cheapest price for this particular new Toyota Land Cruiser Black, right? So let's say if I now use VLOOKUP now, all right, and after using VLOOKUP, I got a different price entirely. So how do we resolve that? That's what I'm trying to say. All right, how do we resolve that?
Sorry, please. I think so that they don't get. I'm very particular about them being confused. I think first just teach them VLOOKUP, then let them understand that VLOOKUP the function. Then this other one will now be the second. If they now need the cheapest, and then maybe the most expensive, then let them first of all understand how to use the VLOOKUP to extract data from here. Now you get it now. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so that they understand that, then you now take them to the next level. Yeah.
We are getting there. Thank you. Okay, so let's get the price for new Toyota Land Cruiser. All right. So how do we use VLOOKUP? I've explained it in this syntax. All right. So equals to, I said that whenever you want to input a exact formula, start with your equals to first. Then you type VLOOKUP on your laptop. It pops up. You hit tab or click enter or double click it. Any one you want to use. Then what's my lookup value? All right. From here is my lookup value. Then comma. And my lookup value. The client says you want a new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023 Black price. All right. Let's start with that before we go into cheapest or whatever. Okay. Then from which table am I going to get the price from? All right, which is what I want. So it's from this table, all right, from this sheet. So I'll click on this sheet, all right, and then comma. You can see that this syntax is also guiding me. The next argument will be in bold, all right. When I'm done with this, move to this in bold. I hope you get that as well. So column index number, meaning that from that table that I want to get the price from, what column what column number is the price in the table? I hope you get that. Do you get that? What I mean, meaning that what number of column is price in that table? So looking at this our table now, all right. So let me add. So from this, so I'm not going to click comma. Let me go back. All right, so comma my table array, which is from here, all right, but it's an array. An array is a what is it called now? An array is a selection of more one or two or more than one cells. All right, get my English. So now I will highlight from A to anyhow you want it to make start to highlight or A to D, all right, then comma. No, so now column index number, all right, meaning that, okay, from column A to D, what is the column number where price is in that table array? Do we all get that? Do you understand? What is the column index number from my table array, meaning from my A up to D, all right? What is the column index number of column price that I need, all right? So it is what? It is in column what? Column B. And column B is number what? Number 2. Am I making sense? I'm making sense, yes. So this is column A, this is column number 1, column number 2. But what do I need? I need the price. Price is column number what? Column number 2. All right, so I'll just say 2. So if it is this type, that will be what? Column number 3. If it is description, column number 4. If there are more and more columns, you know, and that's what you need is in that column. So all you just need to do is just count, all right? Or count till you get to where the column you need. You want to get what you need from, you know. You count till you get to that particular column that you want to get something from. Please, are we clear on that? Yes. So then comma. Then I explain the range lookup, which is the true and the false. All right. So we have approximate match and we have exact match. All right. So approximate match is identified with true. Exact match identified with false. I said before that some people who doesn't know how to use VLOOKUP, who doesn't know how to use it, might go for true because they think it will give you true, you know, true data that you want to retrieve. All right. Or you get what I mean. So now, but I said that false give us our exact match. All right. So we always use false or you use 0. All right. It will give you the exact match. So I'm going to double click exact match, or I click my tab. All right. And I'm going to say close bracket. All right. I'll say okay. So what do I get? So I have 100 and it gave me 174,000 as a price for what? For new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023 black. Let's check. Is that true? Is that correct? Okay. Now, why do we need to check? All right. Why am I saying all of this? The reason is because, you know, we've highlighted our duplicates and we've noticed that new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023 black is a duplicate. What does it mean? What does duplicate mean? Duplicate means that it appears more than one time. All right. Let's say we have book. All right. Book now is now, you know, in like, you know, we now have books. We now have a lot of books. All right. It appears how many times? It appears 13 times. All right. So this is a duplicate now. It's supposed to appear just once, all right, but it appears 13 times. So that means what? Books is a duplicate. So that's what this one is also saying, that because it has helped us to highlight all those duplicates in red, all right. So we already know that it has hinted us that, okay, yes, this new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023 black is a what? It is a duplicate, you know, car title, all right. So we may not be sure, all right, of the price, all right, but of course we've learned how to use VLOOKUP. All right, we've gotten an understanding of how to use VLOOKUP now, so that's fine. All right, so now, what if the client now? So now my explanation that is confusing. So what if the client now says, okay, I need the cheapest price, all right, of that new Toyota Land Cruiser, all right, and so that's why we now go to our data, all right, we now check for all the prices of new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023 black. Please, are we following? Already we've been hinted, right, that this car is duplicate, meaning it appears more than one time. All right, and all these, as they appear more than one time, they are having different, you know, prices. Why? Because of the description. Because of the description, you know. For the Yoruba speakers, you know, you might want to get Etier or Missy, you know, you might want to get maybe a Land Cruiser that is, let me just have a Land Cruiser, or you want to get the correct one. Please, are we together, right? So now, so if I copy this now, which already have been hinted that, okay, this is a duplicated, car title. So I've copied it, all right? And then I come to data. All right, already we filter this to contain only brand new. So we also come here to our filter, all right? You come to search, you paste that card there, all right? So I'm just doing this just for us that, okay, in case that the client said the cheapest price, are we together? I've already duplicated that, okay, you need Toyota Camry. Even you may not even duplicate, all right? Are we together? You may not even duplicate, all right? You may not even duplicate, but I'm just trying to show us that there are duplicates here and they have different prices. So you have to be careful when you want to look up for the price of a car, depending, all right, of the client request. Are we together? Now, so let's say the client say, okay, new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023 black, all right, and then you come to data, all right, and then you come here and then you paste it and click OK. And now discover that, oh, we have more than one prices for new Toyota Land Cruiser black. So you can get back to your client. Okay, we have different options for new Toyota Land Cruiser. We have the one that is 4-wheel, we have one for original, we have one for blah blah blah, we have one for Land Cruiser twin turbo, we have one for pocket roof. Now just ask your client, oh, which one do you need? Or the agent. I'm just trying to give us a scenario. It might be the agent. The agent the client has already explained to the agent. Are we together? The client might have explained to the agent, or maybe the agent just come to you as a data analyst. All right, that, oh, please, we need the price for new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023 black, and then you now fit that, all right, for new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023, and now it's called that we have more than one price for new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023 black car. Are we together? And then you now get back to the agent. Oh, hello agents, we have more than we have different prices for our new Toyota Land Cruiser 2023 black. All right. So the agent might, okay, let me get to my client, which of the one he wants. You can just give him the descriptions. Okay, man say, okay, give me the cheapest one. Am I making sense, please? Because I need your reactions. Am I making sense? Someone said lost. Thank you, Benjamin. I hope it's Benjamin, I know. Okay. Tolu said no. Someone said lost. Thank you, Kechi, for the thumbs up. Okay. So maybe I should just.
So yeah, because the class is supposed to end by 1. We have just like less than 20 minutes more, right? So I think what will happen is you just take them through maybe that deep dive for now because of time. You just take them through VLOOKUP. You've done that. Maybe the SLOOKUP, the other ones, the other lookup functions, so that they understand the function, and then we take from there because the time is not on our side.
All right, so let's go ahead. So,
yeah, and I think
so
they got confused around that the duplication, why they are duplicates. So basically, I'll have just said, okay. So let's continue.
All right. So let's maybe so now let's continue. So the clients now give us a feedback that, okay, I need the cheapest, the cheapest price for the car. So we now look at all these prices. Now you know that when you use your VLOOKUP, you got 174,000, all right, but you actually need 170,000, all right, for your. I mean, you actually want to look up for the cheap one. So now what am I driving at is that what are we now going to use the car title as a lookup value, or we use our description? So in this sense, because we have the same car title but different descriptions and different prices, right? It is advisable that we use our lookup. Our lookup value should be our description. Am I making sense? So that we can get the exact prices for all, descriptions of cars. Am I making sense? So we already know how to use our VLOOKUP. All right. So where do we go from here now? Okay. So I'm going to cancel that, and then I'm going to insert cell here. So already, so I'm going to clear my filter here. Come here, clear the filter. All right, we've already filtered for brand name. All right, and then I'll copy my description. All right. Now we are going to see something now. Copy. And then paste. My system is hanging. So sorry about that, hanging. Okay, great. Okay, that's great. So I will just double click to expand this. Okay, so what I need is the prices. All right, but we want to use, are we together, class? Please watch me closely here now. We want to use our description as our lookup value. Are we together now? So let me first of all clear every format here. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so we want to use our description as a lookup value. Why? Because the descriptions are unique, but our car titles they are not unique, because you have, for example, like that new Toyota Land Cruiser, we have about 5 of them. All right. So what if you now want to bring all the prices like that, the way they are here in this Excel, in this data sheet? You want to bring everything like that. All right. You want to retrieve all this data like the way they are, into your brand new cash sheet. All right, with the correct figures. All right. Just like the way we did the other time, right? Our new Toyota Land Cruiser gave us 174,000, whereas we still have another 170. Can you see right here? You still have another 170,000 price for, So if you go and use title as your lookup value, you will not get, the correct prices. It will be picking, scatter picking. So we have to use a unique. So that's why, I think it's been explained there. Okay, so your lookup value, have to be an ID. Am I making sense? Your lookup value, which is this, has to be a what? Has to be a unique ID. All right, your lookup value has to be a unique ID. So equals to VLOOKUP. All right, my lookup value, I want to use description now this time, so that I will get correct figures, correct prices for all the title cars. So that for new Toyota Land Cruiser now, you're not going to give me 270, whereas there's still 170 somewhere else. I'm making sense. We mix all the numbers together. So that's why we are using the description as a lookup value. I'm making sense. All right. So, comma, table array. I've explained that we are getting from data, data sheets from array A to D. All right. Comma, column index number from my array. All right. What column number is price? Price is what? This is column 1. This is 2. All right. So price is 2. Comma, then we use the exact match, which is false. Close bracket. Okay. Oops, we have an error. Why do we have an error? The reason why we have an error is because I said that in lookup, in VLOOKUP, the value to look for in the what? What do you see here, class? Is it second column? Is it third column? In the what? In the first column of a table. Many people do not know this. All right. And they say, I have no VLOOKUP. And then they enter try to troubleshoot at work. Oh, what's happening? I've used VLOOKUP now. I've used, So how do we solve that kind of a problem? So VLOOKUP pros and cons is that your lookup value has to be the first column. You can see what I highlighted. Has to be the first column in your data. Are we together now? Has to be the first column in your data. So what do we do? So are we count? Okay, I think that still works. No, it will not work. So I will unfilter, and then I will Control X to cut. Description, make sure to bring it to the first column. Right click, insert core cells, and then let's go back. Let's go back to our brand new cache. Let's see if our NA has been resolved. It's not resolved there. Why? Because your column index number, all right, which is the price that you want to get, is what? Column number 2. Is it true? On our table, price is column number what? Okay. Column number 1, description. Column number 2, title. Column number 3, price. Oh, price is what? Column number 3. So that means you have to edit your column index number. All right. Which is now what? Column number 3. Because what do you need? What you need is a price. And price is what? Column number 3 in the table. Am I making sense? All I need to do is just what? Hit enter. Oops, you still have an error. Okay. So you can see also happen. Immediately we cut our description and put it in the first column based on the rule for VLOOKUP. All right, your lookup value has to be that it is the first column in your table array where you want to get data from. Is that clear? Are we together, class? So
yeah, but we have less than 10 minutes more. So I don't know why. What I'm thinking of now. What I'm thinking of now is let's take questions so that maybe you are going to do like a 10 or 15-minute video which you are going to share the link with them so that they just run through that video. Like maybe you make it like a 10 to 15 minutes to just briefly explain what each of the functions are. Then we just share that link with them, of course, and then of course they will go through this recording as well because of the time, so that we can take questions. And yeah,
okay, so let's just try and resolve all of these and then we take questions. So you can see that our table array has shifted from B to D, right? When we cut our data from here, you can see our table array is supposed to be from A to where? A to D. But it does not shift from B to D because we've cut the description and put it in the first. So what do we do? And our lookup is supposed to be in the first column. So put it in the column A, and then hit enter, and then we get each correct prices for all of it, and then we double click down, and then that is it. So what have you tips that you've gotten here is that number one, make sure that you use a unique ID for your lookup value so that you get what the exact value you want to retrieve, or you want to bring into another sheet, or you want to look up to. All right, use a unique ID as your lookup value, all right, in this particular table to bring what you want. All right. Number two, so that you can avoid duplicate. All right. And then number two thing that you've gotten, all right, is that make sure that your lookup value is sitting in your first column, no matter what your lookup value might be. All right, make sure that in that table that you want to use lookup for, all right, make sure that that lookup value is sitting in the first column. All right, so let's open up for questions. Let your question comes in.
Guys, please drop your question in the comment section so that you can take them now. Okay, so Akambi is saying lookup option from the beginning and everything on that was missed because of time. Okay, questions, guys. Okay, someone is saying, how did you select range A to D? How did you select A to D?
Okay. So I think there'll also be recording, so we can all fall back to the recordings, right? So I selected, so equals to VLOOKUP. My lookup value, I'm using the description so I can get unique, correct figures, comma, table array. From which table do I want to get it from? Or maybe I'll also share this slide so that I will go over and read. And then my table array is from this data. This is where I'm getting my price, but I need the price. All right. I need the price of brand new cars. All right. But the prices are in these sheets. All right. Then I will highlight from where. So how do I highlight? I put my cursor, all right, on column A, and then I left click, all right, left click, and then I drag to column D, all right. Then come back to my syntax, all right, my formula, comma. You can see that the next argument is always in bold, all right, so the next argument says column index number, meaning that from which particular column do you want to, are we together? Do you want to bring, all right? Do you want to retrieve, all right? Which is my price column, and price is column number what? If we start counting from column A, this is 1, 2, column B 2, column C 3. So that means column index number is what? 3. Am I making sense? Then comma, then what kind of lookup do I want to do I want to get? Is it the approximate match or the exact match? So we need the exact match, all right, so that we can get the exact details. So I'll select exact match and hit tab and close my bracket. I think you've gotten that.
Okay, thank you so much. I think because of time, we won't be able to take much question. But like I said, he's going to do a 15 minutes, just 15 minutes, so that we have a recording already. And 15 minutes extra that just take us through very quickly how to use VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, and the HLOOKUP, and the difference, you know, and then when to apply it and what's the difference. So he's going to do that, so that because of time, I don't want us to pass the allocated time we are allotted for this. Thank you so much, everyone. The attendance, I will send it to the group as well. Please ensure you fill that attendance, because the assignment, you have not shared the assignment with them.
Yeah, so my assignment, can you see my screen? So my assignment is that I'm going to use VLOOKUP to get for local used and Nigerian used cars. All right, and then for local loan cars. So that would be my assignment.
What's the question? Like, can you type it out and so that they understand what they need to do? And
okay,
are you going to type it in the
yeah, let me just type it here. So we use VLOOKUP to get prices for all car titles. All right, to get prices for all car titles which are local used cars.
So because of time, you can just type it and send it to the group.
So yes, so but that's the assignment. So just use VLOOKUP to get prices for all the car titles. All right, just like the way we did it here, all our car titles here. All right, use VLOOKUP to get all the car titles that are here. All right, use VLOOKUP to get the prices for the ones that are, you know, foreign use, I mean local used, Nigerian used. All right, remember what we did? We filtered, all right, and then we copy all of the data, and then we copy it here, and then this will look up to get the prices. So you can also go back to the video and understand. But I know some people here, I also hear they understand what has been done here. So
all right, okay. Thank you, everyone. You get the assignment on the group. You get the assignment on the group. Please feel free. Thank you, Benjamin, for resharing the link to the attendance. So please, guys, please fill it. You get the assignment on the group, and then every other things. And then, of course, the recording. Thank you so much for attending today's class. Please practice with perfection during this week. Ensure the assignment, the videos, watch again, do those assignments, and we'll tell you how you submit it. Ensure you do them. If not, you will not be able to master it all, right? So ensure you do them. The 15-minute video will drop later. You get the 15-minute video so that you can, before Friday, Saturday, you can finish up with it, right? With going through all the assignment and attending to the assignment. Okay, that will be all. Thank you so much, everyone.